What is up, disc golf fans? Welcome back to round 2 coverage of the Raymond Seick Memorial 2024. We are playing the rhododendron course at Fort Steilacoom. Lots of action been going on in the front 9. Big shout out to our tournament directors. I am Peter Artman, and joined with me again is fellow tournament competitor Tyler Schrock. Tyler had a little bit of a iffy ending to the front 9. We'll see how it can happen in the back 9. How you feeling?
Yeah, pretty good here. Joined on the lead card by myself, Chandler Fry, Tim Tenkley, and Isaac. Yeah, we all had a few ups and downs. Chandler's kind of maintaining a lead here. The rest of us are trying to give him a good run as we go through. Always a good time playing on a card with Chandler. We're going to enter the back 9 here, kind of starting on a par 4. Another one kind of for the bigger arms here, if you get something up and turning with the right-hand backhand. The eagle look is definitely feasible. For other players, they're just probably looking for an easy tap and birdie. So flying through plenty of airspace, not many issues with out of bounds or anything like that. We're just going to start seeing some of the branches that can come into play, and we're going to make our way towards the basket a little bit. That line of trees off to the left, you just kind of have to pick your gap and beat them some way. Yeah, and at 525 feet, not super difficult to get as long as you get off the tee a little bit clean there.
Yeah, some of the previous rounds, this has been one of the easiest holes on the course, as you can see from the wide fairways. So let's see how it plays out with Chandler.
Looking like another Emperor from him. This is looking pretty good. It does kind of start fading out. I think he wanted just a little bit more turn on his shot, but still a ton of distance and really not much left. Can kind of give it a long eagle look. Definitely not going to be an eagle look for me with my max distance around 400 feet. So I'm just reaching for kind of a more understable trace and just trying to pick up about 400 feet or so off this hole. And thankfully I got a good bounce off of that tree, so I'm not having to throw up against it for my upshot.
Yeah, still have a good look. Isaac up to tee. Looks like he was trying to do the same, but maybe a little early release.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too much punishment though, as long as you're not directly kind of on or behind one of those trees. Still a pretty routine upshot to still have a birdie look.
Yeah.
Next up is Tim. I would say he definitely has all the power to get a look at this one.
Ooh.
Power shot. Holy.
Goes high, but with a ton of turn as well. You kind of see it panning off to the right side of the screen. Those shots can work out really well, actually. We'll have to see his final result.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he got all the 525 there. Just might be a little bit down the right side of the basket.
Yeah, he's got an arm. I was looking forward to seeing him lace it, but he'll have a look. Isaac coming back. Looks like he'll have a little outside circle for his birdie.
Yeah, his hyzer was just a little wide the whole time. Yeah, still not in too bad of a spot. I'm reaching for a tempo. I wanted to flex that one over. It thankfully slowed down and kind of dropped out of the air a little bit. I got away from me just slightly, but not much of a tester left, maybe 15 or 18 feet. And here's Chandler from distance.
Up now.
Always good with running
He's
it.
still kind of eyeing down that highlight putt. Yeah, his putter's still doing strong though, so nothing negative to take away from his effort so far at all.
Yeah. Let's see Isaac from outside. Let's see if he can cash in.
So this here is left first.
Oh, just right side.
Oh, I think that had a lot of chains. Tough to see that one not go in. Yeah, exactly.
There we go. Good birdie.
It's a
So
ghost.
you'll see some of us kind of pause and look up. You started to kind of see some branches moving. And off in the distance, it just sounded like about 150 leaf blowers started up. And all of a sudden, we just noticed some type of storm front, wind front. Everything started to blow in, and suddenly my 18-footer, I tried to hurry up and get that in the basket before anything else happened. You'll see us kind of looking around and not quite sure what to do in the situation. So a pretty drastic change of conditions here as we enter into hole number 11.
Yeah. Looks like it's about to get interesting here. Hole 11, par 3, 381 feet. This one should be kind of a straight to the point, fairly easy shot. Avoid some of the trees on the left and right, but with this wind, we might be seeing a little bit more trivial conditions here. Oh, and look at that. It's got a little storm front
Yeah,
to
so you
review.
can kind of see. Yeah, we're catching kind of the first wing of it. You'll see the branches kind of moving above Chandler. We're all trying to get a read of how strong the wind is at the different pockets of this course.
Ooh.
So Chandler's reaching for a pretty overstable emperor there, and you'll see the wind just kind of tossed it up and over to the right. And I think we're all trying to do the math of kind of what to do. The temperature just dropped. I threw on an extra layer and disked up to a more stable shot to throw here.
Oh boy. Maybe it was the
Looks like the wind took that from you, but good tree
So
direct.
I was actually kind of happy to punch through the branches. I did flip it over a little bit, but the wind is making this hole a lot more challenging than it would normally be at 380 feet.
Oh, what?
Good rip, and looks like he just fought through all
Another
that.
one through the branches. That is definitely the cleanest.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what you kind of want. Ideally, I think we're all trying to aim a little bit farther left, but a good result
Lane,
there
help.
for Tim.
Too beefy.
Isaac is just kind of hides around a little bit. He will have a look at the basket though from where he's at.
There's so much wind when you play that hole.
Some good drives, all things considered. Chandler first up. Oh. Good bid from his range.
Kind of a half go from the spot he was at. I'm kind of in a similar location. We're starting to, again, the wind is still heating up. I didn't really love my look there, but thankfully only had about 15 feet. And here's really where some of these gusts came in. We did have the chains moving at different points. And from my experience, if the chains are moving, that's normally like 20 to 25 mile an hour winds making their way through. So something we're not always accustomed to out here in this area.
Chandler throwing a plane shot to the cameraman over here. This should be an easy.
Yeah, champ!
Little wind action,
That's
but
10
still
footer.
made it in.
12, 13 feet. That was like 16. 16 feet.
You see pine
Pine
cones
cones raining down.
knocking around up. Yeah, again, not quite used to it out here. I know some places in the Midwest.
Yeah, we're distracting you.
Yeah.
Hold on, Tim.
Oh my god.
We're not used to much between, I don't know, 5 to 10.
Wow.
Make it all cool.
Yeah, this putt for Tim's a little more challenging here. If we get using Jimmy. See the wind blowing on his shirt there.
Yeah!
But
Birdie
sends it.
man!
Right, he makes good, so takes his time. Yeah, gets the lone birdie.
Very good.
You're an
Very good
animal.
use of his shots.
Right, and I was able to clean up a par there. After kind of letting my upshot go just a little past the basket. And just a tap in left here.
So is it a headwind, tailwind out there?
Okay, that'll take us.
Did you gauge it?
So I believe we're looking at kind of a head crosswind moving right to left the whole time. So for this, that'll be what we'll be facing here on hole number 12. So yeah, kind of coming diagonally across the course. This hole is reachable in calm conditions at least. Today though, we're going to have to find ways to kind of navigate some of these late trees and really just manage some early obstacles as well. So this is one of the holes that kind of an early tunnel and then kind of some branches midway and then just kind of pick your side late in the hole as well. So tough to park. Again, should be relatively straightforward to get some type of a look. You're seeing the wind really start to play with discs here. So Tim's shot getting lifted and pushed off to the right. And next up here will be Chandler.
Yeah, let's see how we can combat this wind here after looking at Tim's shot. I really got a hold of it. Hold of his disc there.
Here is his Emperor. You'll see that just gets kind of beat down and turned and then kind of gets some secondary flight. So he picked up probably about 400 feet, but he's kind of well right in the basket where he's at. This tee shot, I'm kind of reaching for a photon. I'm totally fine with kind of fading out towards the left side. I didn't really want to be flipping over into the wind. I was fine with kind of carrying off. So I probably got 375 off to the left side and was fine with that effort. Just tried to get a relatively easy par. And last up here is Isaac, kind of able to study all of our shots. Seems to make a really good correction. The shots look great.
Yeah.
Let's go, Isaac.
Great
45 feet
correction.
short. There's no
One
wind.
person being last on the box there. Really used those wing reads good.
All right, so I'm lining up here. I did make it just kind of under a branch, so again, kind of another touch forehand. Probably the 5th or 6th one I feel like I've thrown today so far in the round. Just trying to navigate the wind a little bit. It did get lifted up, but thankfully dropped relatively quickly. So pretty well a routine putt left.
It looks like Chandler's outside C2 potentially, and he doesn't want anything to do with that.
He just didn't really want anything to do with it. Yeah, some branches, some gusty wind. Yeah, certainly don't want to have like a 30-foot comebacker on a day like this or on a time like this.
That's a pro play. Looks like.
Yeah, and hey, looking at the scorecard as well, he might be happy with where he's at with a 7-stroke lead. He's been playing really good golf so far, so he's trusted his game.
I couldn't run the putt.
So the rest of the cards tapping out. I am kind of hoping the wind doesn't do too bad. It doesn't look too bad at this point, but we're seeing it kind of ebb and flow this entire time. So committing to my routine, trying to line it up. Thus far, I think I had made all my putts inside of the circle, so trying to keep that hot and able to.
No, yeah.
So that's going to be a stack of pars there on hole 12. Taking us then to hole number 13.
Yeah, hole 13, par 3, 357. Yeah, I mean, I think these are these last few holes have kind of been some must-gets. Normally in the wind, this is a little different, but I think this one is pretty straightforward. Hopefully there's a good enough wind read, or at least it stays calm. But yeah, otherwise just, you know, slide dog leg left, right in the trees, and should be a possible birdie. Let's see what
yeah, we do kind of have
Raymond does here.
Yeah, we do have a low lake ceiling here, and you'll kind of see some of those branches moving midway down the fairway. So lots of wind, and you'll see it just absolutely wreak havoc on that shot there with some drops and lifts. And Tim didn't really know what to make of that shot. He wasn't alone. This was some of the gustier parts of the course here with some openness in the pockets.
Oh man, I want to roll the Chandler.
Look at that flip over.
Yeah.
Jeez, and he doesn't know what to make of it either.
He did not like that.
So I was walking up with a pretty clear read that yes, indeed, it is really windy out there. So I'm reaching for my most oversteering photon, and it seems to just hook up left, and I'm going to be kind of obstructed down that left side there with that kind of short, chunky hyzer.
Yeah, it just kind of died down on you.
We have not exactly done this hole well.
Drop. Keep right, straight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a putt.
Isaac looking good. I mean, depending
So
where
on
he's.
a 360-foot par 3.
Yeah. Where he's nestled at, but Chandler as well.
For a 360-foot par 3, I think we're gonna have 4 upshots kind of coming in on this hole. So not really what you'd expect from an MPO lead. I'm reaching for a resistor here actually to try to get it to slide and skip its way. Which was only partially successful, so got a little work left on the putt there. Yep. We'll see some other layups here. Just trying to get a clear basket. So you were right with the call there on Isaac's shot.
Yeah, looking a little obstructed, having to go to a knee. It's always unfortunate. It's right there, but it's not. We've got a branch, some iron branches that might take it down. Let's see if he can navigate his way to a birdie.
Love an obstructed green. It seems like there's a couple extra branches there as Isaac cashes that putt. Rare birdie in these conditions for hole number 13. The rest of us here will just kind of be looking to clean up the par. Kind of semi-protected here in this little alcove in the trees.
Ooh, what an ugly spit out. Oh my god.
Yeah, whatever the opposite of a replay is what I want for something like that. Like, you don't wish that on any type of a player. You don't want to see it. Yeah, firm putt in the middle and just kind of spit back out.
That hurt. That hurt me. Oh man, that's too bad.
Yeah. Yeah, hate to see it. Not really a mistake on his part. You can always slow down a putt a little bit, but you kind of expect the basket to catch when you put him in the middle.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. Got little dual cam action for hole 14, par 3, 259. So you can either take the forehand route or the traditional right side hyzer route. Looks like the hyzer route's a little more open. So most likely be opting for that, especially in this wind.
Yeah.
And the OB on the right as well.
Yeah, the hyzer shot.
Oh my
goodness.
goodness.
That kick was just brutal there for Isaac. What do you make of that
Oh,
one?
I mean, yeah, just too high. I mean, that's one thing about all these holes is you kind of have that low ceiling start, and yeah, I just might have thought he had a good lock on just doing a easy wide hyzer. That one really surprised me there.
Yeah, we're all trying to manage the wind here. Chandler's either fighting a bug or a pine cone piece kind of falling down on him. His hyzer here is really tracking at the basket, and Flair's just a little bit past it, still inside of circle 1. I'm trying to relatively follow that with the resistor that I threw on the upshot on the last hole.
Whoa, that was stupid. Go in, go.
Scoop up and
Dude, that just
again,
that was
circle
so
one,
wow.
That was just a little bit past the basket.
Yeah.
The timing on that was just kind of silly. Like, called for the lift and it just kind of took off. So
Yeah.
happy to kind of put it relatively close.
Favored you well. Let's see what Tim can do here.
The resistor is a great disc if you've never seen one before. Speed 6, really overstable.
Did that win?
Yeah, Tim's looking wide. This is looking pretty strong. Let's see where he ends up.
Not as much ground play as he wanted.
Yeah, just a little bit wide. So now we're looking at Isaac's shot. He did catch that kind of branch right off the tee. And he kind of pushes to the left side there. As we get to the green here, we'll actually, I'll kind of share what happened on the card. We are all a little bit surprised here as we came up to the green. So here's Tim to play his putt. And again, the basket just not doing its job. Again, you hate to see it. So you'll kind of see a flag there that's right underneath Isaac's disc. And here in a moment, we'll see kind of the rest of us here. We did not realize that there was OB inside of circle 1 on this hole. So Chandler, myself, and Isaac were all out of bounds in circle 1. They had actually moved that line prior to this tournament. So we were all caught off guard at that point. So although we were at about 20 feet, we were out of bounds.
Oh, wow.
So just a little misjudgment on our side, just not really knowing the course. So this will be my putt for par after Chandler collected his par.
Well, that is a little stress to this. But still makes it.
Yep, thankfully a bit of a lull in the wind. Yeah, I had a little head shake there. We weren't really a fan of that course change, but hey, it's all right. We all had to play it, so added a couple strokes to the scorecard we weren't necessarily expecting. No. All right, and I had a little lull in the wind, and you're kind of seeing the branches move again here for Isaac for this cleanup putt. Yeah, so after getting into some trouble and then kind of putting his third shot out of bounds, he unfortunately is going to take that double there that kind of really hurts.
All right, here we got hole 15, par 3, 320 feet. This one is just straight and then off to the right. I'm really interested to see how this one plays in the wind. You see those trees on the left that can obviously take your disc and leave you for a hard par approach, and then try to the right. But yeah, this wind has added a whole new obstacle to all this, what should be so easy.
Yeah, I think most players would normally go straight at this hole.
Oh.
Chandler we're kind of facing the teeth of the headwind. Chandler's shot was looking decent, but just kind of lifted and pushed left the whole way. So we were trying to make sense of kind of what to do. Normally we would throw kind of a touch shot here, but into the teeth of the headwind, we kind of had to be pretty strategic with the shot we were throwing. So I actually reached for my most overstable photon, trying to push it down what would be my right side and bring it back to the left. And I got about 90% of what I was looking for out of that flight. Getting a look, I felt like was a victory in that ripping head.
Yeah, definitely. Use the whole fairway there.
this is a hole that, like, I feel like the normal play versus the wind play are just so much difference between the two.
Yeah, when you look at the drone footage, you're like, okay, it should just be right there, but then you got this wind, and it's a whole new game now.
Yeah, I can pretty much guarantee that wasn't a flippy disc out of Isaac's hand, but the wind just kind of flipped that over. He's going to try to scramble this one. Trying to catch a tree down by the basket. Oh, and that kind of slides out to the left a bit.
Rough ground play on that. Rough ground play. Let's see what Chandler can do here. So he'll have a tap in.
Alright, this bite kind of getting played with by the wind. Tim will have this putt for his birdie look.
Good bid. Hopefully no roll away.
Pretty good effort there. Isaac from about, I would guess about 40 feet. Wants nothing to do with it.
Yeah, he might have had some low ceiling. How are you looking here? With your shot.
So I have kind of a couple low-hanging branches as well as kind of that leaning tree is just kind of to the right on the edge of where I'm aiming. So on this putt here, I caught a little bit of branch, a little bit of chain, and that was my first circle one miss, I believe, of the whole tournament so far. So a little frustrated, but thankfully it was a birdie look, so relatively short par. Speaking of par, Tim's able to cash that one.
Were you thinking about that when you missed that putt? Were you going, first circle one miss, or was that not a factor in your head?
Maybe after the fact or walking to the next hole. I'll let myself get frustrated or kind of think through some of those things for a moment, but yeah, I try to just keep a level head and just keep aiming towards the chainy part and hoping that catches my frisbee.
Yeah,
just the simple gameplay usually serves me well.
Yeah, it's natural with the competitive game.
All right. Here we are on hole 16. Normally, again, another kind of touch shot, the same direction as what we saw in hole 15. So we'll be playing into the teeth of some headwind. There are some hazard areas on this hole. Definitely a little bit of undulation. You kind of have to make it over what was probably formerly the edge of the golf green here. You can kind of see by the branches behind us that this wind has not let up at all. So we're all kind of going to this tee and picking up 3 or 4 different discs and trying to figure out what to do. Again, the normal play is not going to work today, so making some adjustments as we go. First up is Chandler.
Yeah, and you have the option to lay it up before the OB, which sometimes could be safe because this might happen and go OB. But yeah, the wind, I think, makes you question yourself.
Yeah, similar to the previous holes, we'll actually be playing those as hazards, so we'll get to advance to that spot, but with the stroke added. I'm trying to introduce kind of an overstable disc on a lot of Anheuser here, and I actually really liked my early flight. It's still kind of fighting, but catches some ground and just barely trickles and climbs that wall out of bounds. So yeah, I like the first 2/3. The last third wasn't working for me.
Looks like we're getting another run from Tim, and he is short.
Yeah, we'll actually see where he's at. I think he might have a look. I wasn't sure of kind of where that ended up with the line. Yeah, he's in a bit of an interesting spot where he landed. So this shot is getting played with, lifted, dropped. Ooh, and this Malta actually looks like it is safe. So I believe that was Isaac's shot there.
Very fortunate.
The wind actually playing tricks, kind of getting funneled through this gap. Chandler and I are kind of side by side.
You're not sure who to go first.
We're giving each other a hard time. I feel like that illustrates that we're both having a good time out there. So
that's important.
There is some more hazard, another kind of line kind of diagonally left in this basket. So I'm trying to see if it even makes sense to run it. It's kind of right at that like 40, 45 foot range. So I'm trying to talk myself into it as I'm lining it up.
Oh,
out of my hand.
wow, that took it. Oh.
And it just barely stays in bounds, kind of that last part of the flight.
No. Isaac wants nothing to do
Isaac
with
wanted
it.
none of it after seeing kind of what we went through there.
He's been really smart with that. He's been seeing what other people do, and out of anybody on the card has been able to adapt to that, and that's really smart golf.
I have this putt left with a tailwind, thankfully, and you can kind of see the branches have slowed down a little bit. So, a single bogey on that hole kind of felt silly. With that lull, I tried to actually hurry to give the rest of the card a chance.
You did. You were very courteous. Very courteous with how much you wanted to get in and get out.
Appreciate it.
I'll have to tell you, Peter, I have an ongoing fear that sometime I'm going to make a putt, I'm going to run into the basket, and I'm going to slip and fall, and like smash my face into the basket at some point. That's one of those like
Not
dark
many, but some.
hey, I've had like that. Sometimes something's going to go wrong, and I'm going to regret
It's going to
it.
eventually happen one day. All right, hole 17.
Well, I hope not.
Yeah, hole 17, par 3, 370 feet. We see it bends off here to the left, and interesting little hyzer shot we'll have here in the wind. Again, should be straightforward based on what you see in the drone footage, but we're gonna have to see what the discs decide here based on the wind. And Mando going off to the
Yes.
left, or to the right, excuse me. So you can't take that forehand left side.
Right, so most players are going to take Isaac's line here, kind of going wide around everything. We also have kind of a helpful tailwind here, so unfortunately Isaac kind of flipped and was knocked down. So the wind here is, we finally turned to a spot where it doesn't hurt us. So this wide swinging hyzer, we'll see if Chandler can get it through. It's looking pretty good. You get some ground play and pull off to the left. Often that's a great way to access the basket. Also kind of just by that Mando, there is kind of a little bit of a hyzer flip up line there. That's kind of the route that I'm going. So my shot kind of slowly flips up, just got past that tree, and I should be in circle one with a look on this hole.
Yeah, good shot. Good shot. Oh, Tim's ripping one wide. Let's see if we can get some ground play action. Oh, and it just gets knocked down. Taken away from all that.
Yeah, I think that wider hyzer play is definitely the popular one from probably most of the MPO field.
Isaac with a good up.
All right, that's stuck relatively close. A little bit left on that one.
so good
Just by
right
hitting a tree here, looks like Tim has a putt.
Oh, very close. He knew how to hand though. Unfortunate. So have a comeback there.
Again, we're still kind of looking at a tailwind here, so this isn't making us overthink too much. Tailwind, just not need to get the putts up a little bit.
Oh, you can see that.
And Chandler's just drops, just hits the floor. That's yeah, the wind really had an effect on that. That putt for Tim, I think that was just kind of indicative of a lot of how his day went. So really close on the basket, not really doing his anything today.
Good putt for you.
Yeah, that one felt nice. Just kind of a nice 15-footer. Trying to keep it, kind of salvaging what's left of this round with kind of a great start and then a really kind of bad number early in this back nine.
Oh my goodness. That one was a trip.
Yep. Salvage Tim there.
Oh.
And Chandler has this headwind putt and kind of follows the lead that Tim put out there.
Yeah,
so
that was
squeaks one in.
little close. That's good. He was able to get it.
All right, on to hole 18, the final hole of this second round. So you're seeing a couple different flights here. It really is, you'll see about 8 different gaps taken off of this tee. There's kind of an opening off to the left or a tunnel down the right. And you'll see as we get to kind of some of these sand traps late in the hole, the basket's kind of perched right in the middle. So as long as you get maybe 300 feet plus off the tee, with a touchy second shot, you can earn yourself a tap in. Birdie look.
Thank you.
Plenty of trees, plenty of trouble.
That was
Again, shout out to Fairway Media for covering this event. Always fun to have some of these shots and some of these experiences captured. First off the tee here, I'm just trying to punch down the left side. Photon. The wind is kind of pushing a little bit left to right on us for this, so I kind of let it do what it wanted with my shot. Got out to the opening, and we'll see kind of another route here coming from Isaac.
Taking it wide, and the wind's actually doing us some favors.
I'm just gonna bet myself to get like 70%.
Nice in the middle.
Yeah, I really like his play there. I'm normally kind of going for a hyzer flip up the middle. It didn't feel like a good idea for my shots, given the wind. Chandler's going a little bit more of a direct line and working out left. I think that's another really good play as well.
Do you hear me?
Kind of plenty of room with these gaps. Peter, what do you kind of look at this hole?
I like what Tim's doing. I mean, I think ideally when you, oh man, he was having the line too. That line there works out so good. But yeah, no, there's options for any sort of thrower out there, which I like about this hole. Let's see how his upshot makes out to be. Hopefully, avoid some of the sand traps. Looks good.
I did not see an OB graphic, so it looks pretty good for him. So here I am a little bit deeper than what I expected. I'm reaching for a resistor. This is kind of right at the edge of my forehand comfort zone. And that unfortunately just barely hops into that sand with maybe about 15 feet left in the basket.
Let's see if Chandler can get a good nestle. Looks like it's safe.
Yeah. I feel like you kind of want to check up a lot like what Chandler just did. Landing short and kind of letting the last 20 feet be skip or slide to make it up.
Yeah, Isaac's got a few sand traps to avoid. Oh man, that's such a hard green, especially with the, oh my god, all that dirt there doesn't help you. Good birdie from Chandler. Finish off the round.
Yeah, really nice one to finish up. He's maintained a good part of his lead. I chipped away at it partially, but yeah, he's going to have a nice lead here going into the third round. I unfortunately let the stroke kind of slip away on that last hole, but still in a decent spot. We'll be heading back to Northwest for the final round.
Looking good. I think you're still on the main card, so that's a good sign there.
Yeah, we'll have to see who else is gonna be there. Par for Isaac and a nice birdie for Tim. So with that, we wrap up kind of our wild and windy round here. So on the lead card, Chandler, myself, Thaddeus, so actually Tim's brother is going to be joining us, who was on the chase card this round, as well as Nicholas Culver. So Chandler and myself have kind of maintained our spots in the lead card. We've had some other folks kind of make their way in and out. Yeah, lots to unpack kind of from this this second round here at Rhododendron. Other than the wind blowing in, what were you kind of seeing, Peter?
Yeah, I think the ground play really was a big factor in some of these, quote, easy to get holes. It's, been some tough putting blows for some of the players. I mean, I'm telling you, for the first time watching it, it's fun to watch, and honestly, this has just been so much action. So, if you've been watching from round 1 and 2, you got to stick around for the final card. I'm looking forward to it. I think, we've got a lot of great action on the way, and got people within striking range of Chandler. So, see how it plays out.
Yep. Thanks to the whole crew from the tournament, Ted Couliard and all the others. Thanks to those running the TACX Cup. I'm Tyler Schrock, and Peter, I'll let you close us out.
Hey, be sure to like and subscribe. Be sure to check out fairwaymedia.golf, and we will see you on the final round. What'd you say?